There should be. Give me 1 second. Let me turn some stuff on. How about that? Can you hear now?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me know if it's too loud. I can adjust it, but...
No, it's fine.
Okay. I'm still thinking about, like, the information that, like, Beatrice has a harem of 7 demon girls who don't wear pants, who turn themselves into stakes and stab victims.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Can you get rid of the red on the OBS? Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Anyways, Turn of the Golden Witch, Wolves and Sheep Puzzle. I'm sure that's not going to result in more like Battler coping and seething while Beatrice is cackling over him, being like, you gotta doubt somebody now, huh? Bitch? That is a cool transition. I do really appreciate it. With Jessica's death, it became certain that the culprit was hiding somewhere nearby, and that they would come in after our lives if they had a chance. According to Genji-san, when tomorrow morning comes, the boat should arrive. The boat has the radio, too. We'll probably be able to contact the police immediately with that. We all gathered in the parlor and decided to wait quietly until tomorrow. I proposed that we should search throughout the mansion for a clue about the culprit, but Auntie Rosa rejected that, saying that if we put pressure on the culprit or provoked them, it might lead to a third murder. That was probably the right thing to do. Even if a bunch of amateurs like us investigated, there's no way we'd find anything. I can't believe no one has talked about the goddamn epitaph yet. It's so fucked.
They're stupid.
They're so screwed. How many episodes until we actually get into that? It would be wisest to focus on protecting ourselves without doing anything unnecessary and leave it to the police after tomorrow. I can't believe it's just chapter 1 all over again. We'd been tense in the beginning, but other than Auntie Rosa, most of us had spent all morning watching TV and were getting bored, so our sense of danger had grown much less intense. God, they're so stupid. When we thought about it, even though there had certainly been 6 adults killed all at once in the first murder, that made us imagine some backhanded method like poison had been used. In the second murder, it was thought that those 2 had become sacrifices because they were unfortunately isolated from the rest of us. For this, we imagined that there weren't a great number of culprits. They didn't have the ability to kill this large group gathered in a parlor all at once. Right now, in this parlor, there was George Hanaki and me, Maria, Auntie Rosa, Genji-san, Goto-san, Shannon-san, Kumasawa-san, and finally Dr. Nanjo. A total of 9 people were here. Furthermore, Auntie Rosa was even armed with a gun. Surely, with this many people staying in the... Oh, geez, what happened there? Surely, with this many people staying in this room, they wouldn't be able to touch us easily. That feeling of security, along with the passage of time, allowed us to recover from that shock of that morning, bit by bit. Incidentally, lunchtime had just ended for us. God, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet. It's like 8 people are dead, and it's barely noon.
Yep.
And they're like, well, I guess we have nothing to do but watch TV. It's like, you guys, There's not a lot of survival instinct going on in there. Incidentally, lunchtime had just ended for us. However, it had been a canned food lunch, a far cry from last night's dinner which Goto-san had skillfully made for us. Auntie Rosa, too, had suspected that poison had been used in the murder of those 6 people. So we probably couldn't deny the possibility that the culprit had snuck into the kitchen during all that confusion in the morning and mixed poison in with the ingredients there. Auntie Rosa had ordered all of us not to put anything into our mouths except safe foods like canned food until the police came. As a cook, Goto-san must have felt very let down. Although he wanted to display his skill anyways, he said that he at least wanted to bring the plates and pile them up with canned food. First, Auntie Rosa had been reluctant in examining each one of the plates that had been brought, but she hadn't been able to find anything to complain about. And Goto-san's chef-picked canned food combo lunch had become a reality. Goto-san had said something about taste being savored not with just the tongue, but with the eyes, too. I found myself agreeing. It'd been the same canned food we had ate for breakfast, but it felt like something completely different. Look, look! Here, wolves and sheep puzzle! Ooh. As I was lazily sitting on a sofa with no desire to watch TV, Maria came over, pulled a picture book out of her handbag, and held it out to me as she said that. What is this book? Wolves and sheep puzzle. Let's have a look-see. Wolves and sheep puzzle. It was a phrase that Auntie Rosa had said this morning when we had all gone to call Jessica. At the time, I hadn't known what it meant, but then after that, there was the uproar when Jessica's body was found, so I had forgotten about it completely. The book that Maria had held out to me looked like a foreign picture book or something that had been translated. By the way, babe, just go ahead and let me know when I hit a good stopping point. Like, once we've hit the point where you're like, yeah, we're done. I leave it to you. Opening it, I could tell that the book contained an assortment of puzzles. So, there's several wolves and a sheep, okay? And the puzzle is to take them to the other side using one boat. Oh shit. This one. I've heard of a game like with rules like this. This is that, but with wolves and sheep. It's a very simple puzzle, passed on from long ago. Let's try one of the problems. On the right bank, there are 2 sheep, 2 wolves, and 2 sheep. There's a boat that as many as 2 animals can ride on, and using it, you have to move all 4 of them to the opposite left bank. There are 2 rules. The first is regarding the boat. It can be paddled by wolves or sheep, and even just by one of the animals on its own. But it can only hold up to 2. The second is regarding the wolves. When they are greater in number than the sheep in that location, they attack the sheep and it's game over. For example, at the start of the game, both sheep ride the boat and go to the other side. Then one sheep gets off and the other goes back to the first bank. When it does, there are 2 wolves on the first bank, and a single sheep returns there. When it happens, there are more wolves, the sheep is attacked and it's game over. On either bank, or even the boat, there must not be more wolves than sheep. It's a puzzle about how to shuttle them across these boats under these conditions. This is a very easy version of this puzzle, actually. By the way, the right answer to this, in the first turn, move both wolves to the opposite bank, then one wolf comes back, on the second turn, move 2 sheep to the opposite bank, then one wolf comes back. Then on the third turn, put that last wolf on the right bank of the boat and across the opposite bank. Congratulations, transport successful. Exactly. Hey, Dagger. Partway, there may be the same number of wolves and sheep on the boat or on either side, but that isn't a problem. You only lose when the number of wolves is greater. This book symbolizes it using wolves and sheep, but there are probably lots of people who know the same game with different symbolism. Looks like Maria wanted to test whether I too could solve the puzzle she knew how to solve. And she kept showing me different pages saying, solve this one, and this one's hard. She's really hitting Battler with the are you smarter than a 5th grader?
I mean, he didn't know English.
He didn't. What had been happening when Auntie Rosa had said the name of this puzzle? That's right. When we decided to go call Jessica, we had been talking about how many men should go. Auntie Rosa mentioned the wolves and sheep puzzle, and we said that we should all go together. Wait a sec.
Wait.
That can only mean one thing. Auntie Rosa saying that there are wolves among us. Sus. And when the number of wolves and sheep is balanced, we're safe, but when a situation comes up where that isn't the case, the wolves will bare their fangs. Is that what she's thinking? This is literally Among Us. This is they're literally like, this is a game of Among Us now. As long as we all stick together, there's no chance for them to get an opportunity to kill us.
Yep.
At the time we had found our parents' corpses, Auntie Rosa was already suspecting the servants might be wolves. But she didn't know whether it was all of them or just some. She had sniffed out the possibility that wolves were hiding among them. Well, yeah. The murder scene was pretty damn elaborate. It's easy to imagine there were multiple culprits. And considering that she had the idea already in mind when we went to Jessica's room, where Jessica had been alone with the servant, Cannon, and had been killed, it isn't hard to imagine why Auntie Rosa had suspected the servant so persistently. All you servants, Koda-san is going to the kitchen to wash the dishes. Just in case, would you please all go with him? My apologies, everyone. Let us go as a group. Oh, all the servants, okay. Let's go. Yes, coming. Well then, George-san, excuse me for now. Okay. Take care. Auntie Rosa, can I go as well? She's going to be like, if you put one foot out of this goddamn room, George, I'll kill you myself. I'm sorry, would you remain here, George? There's something I want to talk to you about. Is that so? Sorry, Shan. Anyways, take care. Don't be alone. Yes. Excuse me, Dr. Nanjo. I wanted to consult with you about something. It's ignoring the fact that she's like, I wanted to talk with you, George. And the second they leave, she's like, anyways, fuck that. Nanjo. Beatrice is the designated imposter, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, what might that be? The servants put the dishes in empty cans in the serving cart and started to head out into the corridor. Behind them, Auntie Rosa was talking to Dr. Nanjo about something in a small voice. Alright. I will go. Even Nanjo's like, man, I can't believe, like, we didn't even get to the safe room and, like, Rosa is kicking everyone else out. That's fucked up.
She is 5 steps ahead of Natsuhi.
Yeah. I bet she's not kicking out Maria this time, though. I bet that shit's not happening.
God, I would hope not.
Listen, you don't know with this woman. Yes, if you wouldn't mind. Dr. Nanjo closed the book he was reading, stood from the sofa, and followed after the servants. Auntie Rosa stuck her head out into the hallway, and after watching them leave completely, closed the door and spoke. Listen, everyone. Now, everyone here is Anushi Romeo. Yes, that's true. George, come on. You gotta be picking up what she's putting down. So you're saying that you chased out all of the wolves? Auntie Rosa. With that one sentence, Auntie Rosa's gaze grew sharp. Apparently she picked up on my sardonic tone. Auntie Rosa laughed lightly. Your mind sure works fast, Butler-kun. I like clever kids. I don't know about that. Maria's plenty clever. I was about to say, Maria's plenty clever. She just expresses that in a weird way sometimes. It means there's less to explain. Maria's like, no, I need you to explain it to me, though. Battler smart? She's dumbfounded. Impossible. He's a dipshit. Can you solve this? Hard one on page 64. Maria, sit there watching TV for a while. Mama wants to talk with Battler-kun and George-kun.
I forgot that Jessica's dead.
Yeah. I heard about puzzle from Battler-kun. I don't think it's so bad to be careful, but I think being too suspicious isn't good either. Especially because now there's only 4 people in this room, and like there are more people outside willing to like that you can like plan around. And like you take out like Nanjo, and then it's equal numbers, and then you're fucked. Like, I don't know. This seems like kind of like a terrible idea from Rosa, but whatever.
I mean, you already said it. If you take out Nanjo, it's equal numbers, right? So that means they've already lost, because they don't necessarily know who is a culprit. It could be all of them.
I guess. Whether the real culprit is Beatrice or not, I think there's reason for one of us to suspect that the servants are in league with her. Then why did you Nanjo leave? There's your numbers advantage!
I guess he counts as a servant.
In the first murder, when Isan and the others were killed, they had been given a very brutal treatment, right? Did that look like something that could be done alone? Maybe our mystery guest Beatrice looked all night and did it all. And the incident with the master keys involving the door to Jessica's room, isn't that proof that one of the servants was involved? Only a master key could have locked the room to Jessica's room. Locked the door to Jessica's room. In that case, we can only suppose that one of the servants locked it. No, wait. Flip over the chessboard. That's strange, Auntie Rosa. After killing Jessica, why did the culprit go to all trouble blocking the door? It was inevitable that the owners of the masterpiece were going to be suspected if they did that. There was no need to deliberately lock the door. That's right. It's just as Battler-kun says. They have no reason to deliberately go and do the thing that makes them look suspicious. Yes, that's an interesting thought. I'm disregarding it, but it's interesting. Of course, I also thought that. If that's so, then the person who locked it wanted to cast suspicion on the servants. They locked the door without a master key. That's impossible, right? That's right. If there was a trick that one could lock the door without a master key, this would be a good disguise aimed at casting doubt on the servants. If the culprit wanted to isolate us and attack us one by one, this trick was a very effective one that could even give rise to paranoia, like this. However, there was no way to lock that door without using a master key. How can you make the claim that there's no way to lock the door without using a master key? Isn't that a devil's proof like Rudolph Nisan was talking about? Maybe it was locked by a method we can't think of. Even if we can't think of it, that doesn't disprove that there was some unknown trick. Well, sure, but... So is that it? The suspicious ones are guilty? I don't know the practical details of the trick, but I have a general idea. My apologies, but if we suppose that Kanon-kun was the culprit, this can be explained extremely easily, even as to why there was no corpse. But Kanon-kun wasn't holding a master key, right? Putting aside the other servants, at least Kanon-kun shouldn't have been able to lock the door. I see. So that's why you told us to search the closet and everywhere else right after we entered Jessica's room. Auntie Rosa, your mind works faster than I can imagine, just by judging by your normal appearance. Sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game. You look dumb as shit.
I was just say, he's just like, you look stupid.
You look like, you look really stupid, Auntie. The brain speed of a little sister is always the bigger sister's -1. I don't know about that one, dog. That doesn't feel super accurate. I feel glad that there's no one I need to worry about now. Don't know if I like that. That's a terrible fucking thing to say about your older siblings who were just viciously murdered. George Aniki realized that she was referring to Auntie Ava and seemed a little disturbed about how he should take that nasty remark. Jesus Christ! Yeah, the fuck? I'm sorry. Could you explain it so that even I can understand? I'm stupid. Kanon-kun's master key was in Jessica Chan's pocket, and that's closed up inside of a locked room. After the door was locked, it should have been impossible for him to pull a stop by putting it in her pocket from outside the room. Yeah, it's because, he was still in the room when it happened. That's not it, Auntie. If it was done the way Auntie Rosa imagines, this trick could only be used by Kanon-kun. And the door would be locked without a key, while the key was still in Jessica's pocket. And as a result, his corpse would also disappear. How? How could he lock the door without a key? It's simple. George could. When you return home, you lock the door, right? You twist the knob, click, right? Huh? Could it be? No, but Kanon-kun wasn't anywhere. Looks like he got it, Auntie. So Auntie Rosa was searching inside the room for it. She was searching for Kanon-kun, who had locked the door from the inside, stuck the key in Jessica's pocket, and was hiding somewhere, waiting for us to go away. The simplest locked room trick. In other words, to hide inside the locked room after committing the murder. If you get out after those who discovered the body left, it would create a perfect locked room murder. We searched that room, but we couldn't find anything. But doesn't that mean that we can rule out something like a secret passage? That doesn't mean that we can rule out something like a secret hidden passage in that room that only the servants know about. Except, we know that because of the red text. Unfortunately, they have no magic. I don't know where that might be hidden. If we assume that there was a hidden passage, we can say for certain that it was impossible for anyone except him. That line of reasoning was the first thing I thought of, too. The reasoning I hate the most, so I wanted to destroy it at the very beginning. It's very bizarre, like, these sort of interludes. Like, it just feels like it's like we're watching director's commentary almost,
Yeah.
Kanon was killed in this room, yes? Because you seem to suspect Kanon is the culprit, you made me repeat this to destroy that possibility right away. I understand. This is what I thought of next. A theory that there were actually 3 people in that room. Jessica, Kanon, and Kanon-kun were victims. The culprit against Beatrice was also there with them. You wanted to make it the human me who committed the crime without using magic. I see, a strange theory that fits you perfectly. Aw, I like that she's just like, that's just like you. I guess you killed those 2, then lock the door from the inside. You carried Kanon-kun's corpse using some secret method that normal people wouldn't notice. In other words, use the secret door to escape. But you told me it had. You said that there are no types of hidden doors in that room. Indeed. This secret passage exists unknown to you all. Was it Nox or was it Bandine? It seems that in mystery novels, there must never be hidden passages, no matter what. I also follow that etiquette. In other words, even without having to thoroughly search a room, great detectives can say with confidence that there are no secret passages. Humans have it so easy with their little detective games. Damn you, talking so big. Thanks! Thanks to the witch's arrangement, I can say for sure that the room doesn't have a hidden door without searching the whole thing. There are no hidden doors in this room. There's no way to get in or out other than the doors or the windows. Which means that the theory that Auntie Rosa is so confident in is wrong. Plus, frustratingly, it's possible to disprove that theory. If you, the witch, say in red that there are no hidden doors, then it's settled. Now, is he actually using red text there, or is it just because he's quoting red text that it's like that?
He's quoting it.
Okay, gotcha. Because I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm waiting for him to say something with red text, because that's the obvious, like extension of, like, the thing. Like, it's the obvious escalation. So I'm just
like waiting for him to finally get some actual facts in there.
Like he is going, like a pivotal moment is going to happen where Beatrice is like really like on the ropes, and he's gonna she's gonna say some head ass shit, and then he's gonna like stop and smirk, and then he's gonna say something in red, and then she's gonna explode. She'll just explode. She'll just explode on the spot. How are you doing? How's the Umineko?
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. We were planning on maybe doing a little bit longer, but Eddie was out all day and she's tired, and I've got a headache, so we're doing a shorter stream of it today.
How are you? How are you guys? Both you.
Yeah. But as for Umineko, that's as good as always. However, no matter how much a human like me tries to argue against her, Auntie Rosa probably won't accept it. Humans can't prove that there's no hidden door. It's a devil's proof. Damn. Sure is convenient being a witch. Go away. You're calling Cannington the culprit because of a hidden door that we don't even know exists. I can't accept that. Yeah, that's like... That's not, you don't even have circumstantial evidence to support that, Rosa. That shit's fucked. Can't accept that. Tell me some reason that's easier to accept that. There is none. I've been thinking it the whole time. I've been thinking the whole time. There's nothing but this. George, good. You had a good relationship with Shannon-chan, right? So I think it would be hard for you to accept that all the servants are the culprit. I also don't want to believe that Shannon-chan is one of the culprits. But whether it's all of them or not, the culprit, or maybe an accomplice, is definitely in that group. You must not fail to see that. If you thought that there were more wolves in addition to Cannon-kun, and causing that uproar by saying Cannon-kun was the culprit in Jessica's room was to see the servant's reaction. Yes, that's right. And as a result, I began to suspect them even more. I'm certain there are wolves among the servants. Certain. And just like the wolves and sheep puzzle, while they are normally docile, they will surely attack if they get the chance. It's really funny because, like, literally the entire game up to this point is just like watching them destroy themselves. Like, it's like Beatrice barely needs to try.
It's awesome.
Jessica-chan was a lone sheep on the boat. In that puzzle, they may not attack when there's a balance between wolves and sheep, but our puzzle is different. Depending on the opportunity and number of people, they'll attack even if there is a balance. Just like when Jessica-chan was killed. There's something I don't like. In that case, Shannon, who you sent to the kitchens is in a dangerous situation, isn't she? We should also go to the kitchens right now. No matter who might or who might not be a wolf. If we can form a balance by gathering together, I think we should maintain that. Shannon-chan went to see father along with Genji-san. She was isolated then, but she wasn't killed. Guess Genji-chan wasn't a wolf either? No, because they were both wolves. Sorry, George, your wife is a wolf. Shannon isn't the kind of person who can take part in a crime. Even if it's you, Auntie Rose, I cannot ignore that. I demand that you take back what you just said. I hate to say this in front of Aniki, but that argument feels just like something Auntie Ava would say. If you can't argue back, then you automatically assume that you're right. Looks like you can't fight with your blood after all, Auntie.
Damn.
Even I don't think of myself as very praiseworthy right now. But you know what? I'm a mother! Give me 1 second. I'm screenshotting that. Perfect. Wonderful. I would even become a demon to protect Maria's safety. You also become a demon whenever you don't need to protect Maria's safety. When it threatens Maria's safety. Honestly speaking, I wish I could just shut myself away somewhere alone with Maria and then beat her.
Jesus.
But I also plan to act as a mother to you two. Oh no! Guys, you have to watch out! She's gonna hit! She's gonna hit you!
Too late.
Right now, you two are as good as my children. You may not be my own children, but I won't forsake you. It is kind of neat to see, like, it's like the opposite, almost kind of the opposite of, like, Natsuhi, where she's like, I don't, listen, this child is fucked up.
Yeah, it is,
Which is, like, a weird thing, considering she is the child beater. And, like, I'm not saying that that Natsuhi and, like, Jessica's relationship was, like, the healthiest, but at least there wasn't, like, physical abuse being involved, you know? Ever. Sure, thanks. Battler's like, okay, that's not what I need to hear right now, but okay, thanks. I just wanted to warn you not to be careless, as your mother. Wait, no, you can't start doing shit like this, Rosa.
She's adopted them.
Rosa, you can't. Oh no.
Rosa is mother.
You can't just start saying like as of right now, you guys are as good as my children. Like, okay, that's a reasonable statement given the situation. That makes sense. To immediately start saying like I'm your mom is weird. That's fucking Atlas weird, really right?
Happy. He hasn't had a mom in such a long time.
Always remain where I can see you. I will protect you. At the same time, you'll be observing us to make sure we aren't fools. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. So, like, I don't give a shit. Listen, another woman already tried to be my mom and she's dead, so fuck you. Can you prove that you aren't a wolf yourself? Yes, I can! Quick answer. How? With this. This is my proof. What? Rosa, why are you fucking like this? You're so goddamn... You're so fucking unhinged. You have wanted to shoot this gun so bad. Auntie Rosa held up the gun and pointed the barrel at me!
This is not taught in gun safety.
You know what? You know what? She's right. She really is his mom now. But it was only for an instant. She immediately lowered the gun, laughing impishly. But to me, that time I spent staring down the barrel of the gun felt like an eternity. How does that gun prove that you weren't the culprit, Auntie Rosa? Think about it. What if I were the culprit? Do you think I would let this once in a lifetime chance I got when the servants left? I could just shoot you both, bang, and that's all there is to come out with a fitting excuse. Like Beatrice appeared out of the outside window and shot us with a gun. I would claim that I fired 2 shots back at her and thrown 2 shots worth of empty cartridges onto the floor. It's a wild, crazy wild argument, but it does make sense. Battler. There's something Kraus Nissan often used to say. That makes right. I wonder if this proves that. No. Kraus is a dipshit. You are also...
You're gonna listen to him?
Jesus. I'm sorry, you two. I don't think you're that sorry. I genuinely don't feel in my heart that you're that sorry, Rosa. I lost a lot of my composure after all those crimes since this morning. Yeah, that, I get, yeah. You know how I normally am, so right now I must seem on edge and a little short-tempered. But understand, I want to protect you from the malicious culprit. I would become a demon to do that. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry for saying something that's angry to you. Batherton? George-kun? Let's make up. No. That's like you don't get a... This is really just... Oh man, this is really integrating her her stuff as like an abusive mom. Where it's just like... You can't just, like, treat people like shit and say shit that's going to hurt them and, like, completely ignore what they want. And then be like, okay, but no, we're making up, though. Like, you can't force that on people like you can with your abused child. George Aniki was wearing an unsatisfied expression. He probably couldn't forgive the damage done to Shannon's honor. What about
I'd like
me?
that he could pass the shit about his mom, though.
Yeah. Several bits of circumstantial evidence strongly hinted at the servant's participation. I do appreciate that there is that moment where he's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" When like he was talking about his mom, and he's like, "What the fuck did you mean by that?"
He was actually like taken back. He was so aghast.
He was like, "What the hell?" Like just a stray out of goddamn nowhere. Yeah. She's like me watching those fucking rap streams. Or he's God, like me watching those fucking
Umineko anime was good. That would have been so funny to animate.
That, yeah, like there's, like I can see a world in which like an anime of this is like really incredible. But I can also see a world where this anime is just absolute dog shit. And I unfortunately, I know which world we live in. I don't want to believe that one of them is the culprit, but possibly colluded with the culprit. Hey, what's up, babe? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I think we lost Eddie. I'm going to restart the call. Hey, there we go. Hey, babe.
Please don't call me.
I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Alright. You ready? Gotcha. I don't want to believe that one of them is the culprit, or possibly colluding with the culprit. In the current situation, there's nothing but wishful thinking. Nope. Who should I believe? In the first place, who is the culprit? Are there accomplices? If so, how many? I feel like I'm constantly only suspecting the people connected to all this. I found myself quickly forgetting about that 19th person, the guest, Beatrice, who came yesterday and boldly called herself the Golden Witch. I haven't actually seen her face. I've heard that she's like a double of the witch in the portrait, but because I haven't seen her directly, no matter how hard I try, I really can't feel like there are 19 people on this island. So I easily slipped into the illusion that the culprit is one of the 18. Damn it. Come out, Beatrice. You're the bad guy, then act like the bad guy and show yourself, laughing in a high-pitched voice and looking down on us. He is definitely getting bits and pieces from his, like, the version of him that's, like, doing the commentary. Like, that's, like, picture like, you know Beatrice already. Just like a bad guy, one of those dramas who, even once they're exposed as the culprit, aggressively says, "Is there any proof?" She's so tickled. She's like, "Oh, that's great." Hey, thank you for the follow, Sinswim. How are we doing?
Swim.
Sinswim.
Oh.
I think that might be Ray's wife. Maybe. Is there any proof? Shut up. You keep your trap shut for a minute. Battler's like, I am not sitting down and listening. I'm Ray's sister-in-law. Ah, I gotcha.
Hi,
Ray's wife, Swim. Ah, I see.
Hi, Ray.
Well, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hey, Ray, what's up? I just love that, like, it cuts in for, like, literally 2 seconds for her to laugh and him to be like, "Ah, shut up. Ah, shut your fucking mouth."
How are you guys?
I can't wait for him to start being like, "Yeah, my bitch wife keeps murdering people."
People being my family.
There were 5 humans in this kitchen, but it was very quiet, filled only with the sound of the rain. It was only accented by the sound of Shannon and Kumasawa washing the dishes. Boda was using leftovers from breakfast and lunch as ingredients for a servant soup. Rosa had suspected that the poison might have been added to the food, so they decided to eat canned food, but it hadn't really been filling. Boda thought she was being too careful. So it was spontaneously creating a soup to be served only to those who wanted to eat it. Turbo pride. Finally got out of hell. What did I miss? There was just like this bit where like Battler started talking about Battler started talking in his head about like, man, I really wish Beatrice would come out and start cackling from the fucking top of the stairs like some villain, like been like, oh, where's your proof? Or something, just so he had somebody else to suspect. And then there was like just the cutaway of like Beatrice and like Battler in the tea party, and she just started laughing a lot. And he was like, shut the fuck up, shut up. And then it cut back. It was really good. I forgot the main character's name is Battler. This series is so stupid, I love it. It's really says a lot that I've actually just completely kind of gotten over the idea that like that's a stupid name. It's just I've said it so often. And people in the story have said it so often that I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's his name.
Yay!
Shannon and Kumasawa were washing the dishes that food had been arranged on. On the inside, they thought maybe Kota should be the one to wash them, since he had been the one who wanted the food on plates in the first place. But they left their complaints unsaid for the time being. I love that they're like people are dead and they're just like, man, do we really gotta do this? I don't want to fucking do extra dishes.
Same. How are you?
Genji and Nancho were facing each other across a crude chess set, which had seen many years. It still only just begun, and because the opening game of the experienced players had been endlessly refined, it looked like a ritual where they just moved specified pieces in a specified order. That's a nice aroma. You wouldn't get this from canned food. We've made only from sealed ingredients, so there won't be any poison instead. I have made enough for everyone, so please, eat. Of course, I will also taste for poison. Please feel secure and eat. It really is a nice aroma. Goda-san, your makeshift servant meals really are delicious. It's natural that you create delicious food to buy delicious ingredients. My teacher taught me that perfecting your ability to make delicious food, whatever is at hand, is what makes you a true cook. He's a good teacher. Thanks to him, it looks like she'll be able to enjoy some truly delicious food. Although it is a shame that it was made from ingredients intended for all the family members to eat. I'm sure that Rosa-san is also tired after everything that happened this morning. It's only natural. So thanks to that, we get to eat some soup made from delicious ingredients. Ho ho ho.
Kumasawa, please.
Rosa had fervently told everyone that they didn't realize the danger they were in. They must suspect that poison was mixed in with the food. The atmosphere in that place had led to their agreement, but their hunger wouldn't be overcome by that momentary emotion. They're like, yeah, but we're fucking hungry, though. Ironically, it has become a soup that we normally wouldn't be able to savor. If possible, I would also like to serve it to everyone in the parlor, but seeing as that goes against Rosa-sama's instructions, you better not. Those who want to eat can do. Those who want to eat it can do so. Kumasawa was like, we got one over on him. Let's go.
More soup.
Skillfully taking a breather when no one is looking is one of the things you learn as a servant, after all. Kumasawa laughed loudly, and Shannon and Goda laughed with her. It seemed that in an area where only their fellow servants were gathered, they could be very relaxed. Shannon didn't like Goda's occasional dishonesty, but she knew there was no falsehood in his childish smile when he cooked, nor in his desire that people enjoy his food. So even though it was a little aggravating to be made to wash the dishes, she couldn't really hate him. However, they couldn't have dreamed that Rosa was calling them wolves in the parlor at the exact same moment they were spending their time peacefully like this. Like she's like, you can't trust any of them. They're all goddamn murderers, all the fucking lot of them. I'm gonna shoot them. I'm gonna shoot them all. And they're just like, man, soup's so good. I love soup.
Season.
Soup season. It's so cozy with the rain.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, several of the servants heard a sound like something being dragged, and then a thump. When a servant was carrying a mountain of trash bags on a rainy day, doing some work in a raincoat, they would create exactly this kind of noise and presence as they returned and hovered around the back door. So after hearing that sound, at first none of them noticed anything out of the ordinary. But then they quickly realized, in a situation where everyone was either in the kitchen or the parlor, who in the world was at the back door? All the servants looked at each other. They checked to make sure that each one of them knew what the sound meant. Who could it be? The servants knew the mansion's layout well. They understood how unimaginable it would be for someone from the parlor to actually go outside in this typhoon, go all the way around, then come up to the back door. And was it Kinzo? They found it even more difficult to imagine that Kinzo, who never left his study, even under normal conditions, would dash out in the middle of this typhoon for no apparent reason, and come to the back of the house, where only low-caste people came in or out. That wasn't our imagination, was it? Shannon and Kumasawa drew closer together, fearfully looking at the back door. Who is it? As Goda fearfully approached the back door, he called out. When he checked his eyes, the location of a butcher's knife set on a nearby sink. He didn't pick it up yet, because there was still a possibility that this was a member of the family. However, if that possibility wasn't possible, there was no response from across the door to Goda's initial question. Maybe its voice had been so quiet that it hadn't reached through all the wind and rain outside. Genji-san? Yes. Stand back, Dr. Nanjo and the women. Who could it be? Genji took a knife with a classical design from a stationery box placed near the chest set.
Let's go.
It was something to be used instead of a paper knife to open envelopes for invoices and bills. But it was fundamentally a knife. So the blade on it could injure someone. Genji hid it in his sleeve with a well-practiced manner. Then he, too, approached the back door and signaled to Goda with a silent nod. Goda cautiously approached the back door and slowly started to open it. Oh. The figure of a person suddenly shuffled into sight, landed on his knees, and fell over. Goda fell backwards onto his backside in shock. The figure was soaked with rain, smeared with mud, and drenched with blood. Canon, she made a new body?
What?
Why did she make a new body?
Canon.
Are you alright?
Nanjo-sensei.
Dr. Nanjo. It was Canon. His breath was feeble, and the puddle of mud he left quickly became drenched bright red. When Nanjo held him and turned him face up, there was a deep scar right in the center of his chest, as though he had been run through with a spear or something. Even now, deep red blood poured out from there. This is horrible. What the fuck is going on here? What shall we do? First aid kit? First aid kit.
Canon-san,
put your hands against the wound. Please, push firmly. Let's carry him to the bed in the service room. Everyone, please lend a hand. Come now, come on. Please, hang in there a little longer. Hang in there. It's alright now. Don't take your hand from the wound. Anyways, let's carry him to the servant room. This feels like the most anyone who's been a victim so far has kind of had a shot at maybe not dying. I'm pretty sure he's dead, but... Kumasawa informed Rosa-sama that we have found Canon. But he's, like, dead. Like, we know through the magic shit that he's dead. Wait. Not Rosa-sama. This is some bullshit that Beatrice cooked up to, like, really set them against each other. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Ah, I hate this. Canon-san, not Rosa-sama. What do you mean, Canon-san? Not now. Let's carry him to the servant room, quickly. Kumasawa, don't tell Rosa-sama yet. We'll do it after we hear the situation from Canon. Yes. After appearing in this horrible state, he said not to tell Rosa. That can only mean something very disquieting. An eerie sense of panic rose to their faces. Come now, everyone. Let's hurry and carry him in. Quickly, quickly. Canon's wound was unbelievably deep, and judging from Nanjo's pale face, it was also a miracle that he was still conscious. This is horrible. It appears that he has been stabbed with something like a spear. If it hadn't reached the lungs, I might be able to do something. Anyway, stop the bleeding. No matter how much Nanjo tried to wipe the gushing deep red blood, he couldn't wipe it all away. And each time the wound was aggravated, causing Canon to cry in anguish. Hang in there. Hang in there. Dr. Nanjo, a new towel. How horrible. We saw his ghost. This is clearly a shapeshifter. Yeah, exactly. What's his condition? Honestly, it's so severe that I cannot believe he is alive. Maybe the location of the stab was fortunate. The blood loss is too horrible. Blood transfusion is necessary, but that's impossible until tomorrow. Don't talk, Canon. Your wound will open. Rosa-sama came to Milady and me and... What did you say?
Rosa-sama
did? Could that mean that still doesn't explain why the door is locked. Are you certain? Yes. I'm certain it was Rosa-sama. Beatrice, this is some fucking bullshit. Fuck you. Fuck you. This is horse shit. Go fuck yourself. Come now, don't speak anymore. Kumasawa-san, please grab another first aid kit. Genji-san, is it possible Rosa-sama did such a thing? I don't know. Disregarding Anjo and Kumasawa, who were struggling hard and stained with blood as they tried to stop the bleeding, Genji and Goto faced each other. Because if what Kanon said was the truth, Rosa was the culprit who killed Jessica. Rosa, how could you do that to Milady? Is this one of Beatrice's like pantsless like demon girls?
Pantsless.
What else do you want from me? That's what they are. If that's not an accurate description. I'm going to kill you. Kanon screamed even more hatefully. His hateful voice made it seem like he had seen Jessica being harmed right before his eyes. Certainly, Rosa-sama may have had a reason to kill Milady. The Shiromiya family were wiped out. The inheritance would all go to Rosa-sama. I was summoned by pantsless demon girls. They're coming up a little bit more often than I thought they would, honestly. Hey, human, how we doing?
Hey, human.
If so, Battler and George-sama are in danger. Not only is Rosa-sama holding a gun, but right now, they're the only ones in the party. Genji-san, isn't this quite careless? Kanon suddenly ran out into the corridor. Her expression was complex and tragic, as though she didn't know what to believe. This is how Rosa is going to shoot Shannon. Shannon ran. To where? The inside of the mansion had been scrupulously clean, so they probably wouldn't be easy to find. She might find some if she searched the rose garden, but they would probably all be lost in this wind and rain. That's right. The boiler room isn't cleaned very often. If she went there, she might be able to find some. Shannon ran down to the search for those in the underground boiler room. What the hell are you talking about, Shannon?
I thought she was gonna go check on her hubby.
Yeah, had some medicine taken effect at the brink of death, or did Kanon finally stop even feeling pain? For the time being, Kanon had at least gotten over his painful gasping, because they were like the demon that was shapeshifted into Kanon was like, okay, this isn't. I need to do a little bit more here before I go home.
Being a little too dramatic. Hold on, let me reel it back real quick.
Nanjo apparently didn't think of this as that great of a trend, and didn't let his eyes off Kanon for a second. Kumasawa firmly gripped Kanon's hand and kept encouraging him, so that his will to stay alive didn't fall asleep. Genji-san and Goto seemed bewildered at how to deal with the truth that Kanon would risk his life to deliver. I believe that Rosa-sama's gun had 4 or 5 shots loaded. No small number. The loading cartridges into that gun should require quite a lot of practice. We might unfortunately allow her to get one shot off, but if everyone attacks her at once, we should be able to take the gun from her before she shoots again. On this island, we may have a doctor, but there's no medicine and no doctor, no hospital. You're shot in the wrong place, you're dead. I understand that, but more importantly, if we don't move quickly, there's also the possibility another crime will occur. I get the feeling that Rosa-sama skillfully chased us out. There's a possibility that George-sama and Battler-sama are being killed right about now. How is Battler going to explain this happening without magic? Kanon just fucking dipped. He went out the window and fell onto like some fucking spikes or some shit, and that's why he's injured. The opponent is so dangerous. Wouldn't it be better if we didn't provoke them too much? There's still too much time before tomorrow comes. We can't even imagine what strategy she'll use. It's really fucked up that there aren't really any thinkers in the servants.
Fingers?
None of them are thinkers.
Oh, thinkers. I thought you said fingers. I was like, huh?
Yeah, no fingers in this group whatsoever. They're all. It's wild that they've been working the servants for so long.
Hmm.
We can at least take the gun from her under some pretext. Things might work out. There are 4 or 5 cartridges, are there not? That means there aren't enough to kill all of us.
Jesus.
If they provoke her, then surely even Rosa-sama wouldn't recklessly... No, she said it. She said she'll massacre all of us. The demon's like, listen, need to head this one off at the pass. Cannon, who they thought had been sleeping quietly, suddenly started talking brightly. Almost like he had been awake the whole time and suddenly opened his mouth. He looked firm and steady, and Nanjo was slightly relieved, but thinking of the deepness of that wound, he couldn't just wipe away a certain creepy feeling. The demon's like, okay, I overplayed my hand a little bit. Shit. Fucking go for it, whatever. Who gives a shit? He knew because he was a doctor. Cannon should have been expected to fall unconscious after losing so much blood, and yet somehow he persevered his awareness so clearly. Youth? Or tenacity? Sometimes the power of human life did surpass common knowledge.
Hey, Hempely.
Hey, Hempely. They turned Disco Elysium into an anime? I would say that this is very not Disco Elysium at all, actually.
No, they turned Among Us into an anime.
Yes, this is the Among Us anime.
How are you?
When they had stopped the bleeding, to make sure there were no foreign objects inside the affected area, Nancho had groped around a little bit inside the bleeding hole with tweezers, and the great depth of the wound had surprised him. The wound had certainly reached as far as his lungs, and yet... No, on the other hand, the fact that he is alive is fortunate. But Cannon had spoken clearly. He had hatefully said the one named Rosa created his wounds, and was repeating curses and enraged words. He's standing up! Oh. Man, this demon is really just like, they really are fucking getting fucked over here. They really overplayed that shit. When the Victorian lady is sus. Sorry, this is the 80s. None of these guys are .com bubbles. Unfortunately, the very rich guy who owns this mansion is a giant Westaboo. She wants to kill everyone by any means necessary before the typhoon passes so she can have the Master's wealth all to herself. She told me that clearly. What the fuck would she tell you that? Damn, what a person. Genji-san, what should we do?
What are you, stupid?
The one with is the one of the Uminekos a Victorian thing? The one with the hilarious faces? No, she just wears fancy dresses because she's a witch. What a person, Genji-san, what should we do? Do we also not need some kind of weapons? A little typo there. I can't believe it so suddenly. Rosa-sama would do something like... Genji-sama, it isn't a question of whether you believe it or not. She told me. I heard it. Oh! Why won't you believe me? Don't get up. You'll worsen your wound. When the Victorian cosplayer lady is sus. Yes. Cannon sat up on the bed and spoke to Genji, who was making an effort to believe Cannon's story. You're really tipping your hand here. That doctor's gonna be like, you should be dead right now doing what you're doing. This is fucking weird. She will definitely kill all of us. She surely killed all the people in the parlor by now. If we don't kill her first, it will absolutely be us who are killed first. You're really overplaying your hand. This is just like how I was killed first. Everyone else will also be killed first. You're really fucking. What the fuck are you doing?
He's losing it. He's lost the plot.
Kill her be killed. Cannon-san, you. Does it really not hurt? Oh, this? That isn't a serious wound. What do you mean, not a serious wound? It really isn't a big deal. It doesn't hurt at all anymore. It really isn't a serious wound. Anyways, I'm doing okay. Had a headache day yesterday, but it's dissipating now, and I'm hitting the sauna. Partially for luxury and partially for the cats. Cats.
I want to go to the sauna.
I also would like the sauna. That sounds delightful, honestly.
Every day, I am envious of Hempely's built-in sauna.
As Cannon said that, he began to untie his own bandages, which had been painstakingly wrapped. Come on, man! The gruesome hole in his chest was immediately exposed.
I hope you enjoy your sauna.
You mustn't do something like that. Quickly, lie down. I said it's fine. Look, see? It's not a serious wound, right? Cannon showed off his gaping wound, which was still slowly spitting out foamy blood. Everyone averted their eyes reflexively. See, I told you it wasn't a serious wound at all. Isn't New Jersey kind of warm at the moment? Delete that. No, it's no secret that Eddie lives in New Jersey.
Oh, never was, never will be. Lazy was able to tell which part from New Jersey I was when I spoke.
That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, in Ohio, it's like 28 degrees or something like that. It's like, it's pretty cool, but it's not like really, really fucking cold.
New Jersey's cold. It was very, very cold today when I went out, even with my winter jacket on.
See, I told you it wasn't a serious wound at all. Stop that! You mustn't play with your wound! Look, see? This isn't a deep wound at all. Look. Cannon held up 2 fingers, showed them to everyone, and started to slowly stick them into the gruesome wound right in the center of his chest. You realize you're just gonna have to kill everyone here now. Like, you can't do this and have everyone think that, like, you're normal and you're a human. What's cold in Fahrenheit? What's cold in Fahrenheit in this case? I would say, like, anything, like, 20 or below is, like, cold. Like, 32 degrees is water freezing.
Wait, what?
32, in this case, 32 degrees would be, like, 0 in Celsius. So, however you want to kind of interpret that.
Okay.
I think Emily's asking you what temperature it is where you're at.
Okay, I was confused. It is, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is in Celsius.
Wait, you're in Ohio, LOL? Yeah, no, I'm from Ohio. That's no secret. How are you doing today, Ben?
He's from Skippity.
I am from Skippity. Slowly started to stick them into the gruesome wound right in the center of his chest. Plunging, slimy, squishy, wet. The fingers went in deep to the base. Squitch, warp, glue. Stop it!
Oh god.
29 here, I beat you by 1 degree, Eddie. Incredible. -1 degree
Celsius,
not cold, but definitely the weather we're sauna feels nice. Yeah, so basically we're basically at the same, like, temperature, more or less.
Ready to dunk on me. You can't! I'm from the Northeast. We have seasons here.
Nice, I'm in Cincy. Ah, my little brothers go to college down there.
I'll be there soon.
Yeah, Eddie's gonna be flying in to stay here for like a day before we head off. Like, we have a cruise coming up later this December, like into like the early couple of days of January. Coldest temperature I've ever heard over here was like approximately -37 degrees. Christ, that sounds awful. That's like you step outside, and if you don't prepare, you may be in danger.
Jeez.
Anyways, Cannon's clearly doing some demon shit. Having stuck his fingers completely into his chest, up to their base, he slowly pulled them out in exactly the same way. The fingers he pulled out were stained a sticky, solid, deep red color, and there was even a thread hanging. The fingers were, all the way to their base, covered in deep red... What in the world?
I feel so bad for Nanjo.
Yeah, see? Not a serious wound at all, you see? Like, I feel like I like, it's really fun to read this section because you can kind of feel the point where, like, the demon that's, like, pretending to be Canon or whatever is just like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill everyone here. I might as well start freaking them out a little bit. Oh, okay. Hey, Beatrice. Just then the door opened vigorously and Shannon appeared. I want Shannon to be like, I knew it was you, you bitch! Even after she saw Cannon stained with fresh blood, her impregnable expression kept focused. Hey, Nisa, where'd you go? I'm on the verge of death here. Where'd you go? Well, I went to the boiler room, looking for something. More importantly, I wanted to check. Are you really Cannon-kun?
Hell no.
Oh yeah, very much deadly temps. And he plans on killing Det in international waters. I mean, listen, if she's gonna do it, it'd be a good spot. I think the worst I've ever had was like -5, which was comically cold to me. I couldn't fathom that cold. We had 2 days of proper winter weather with snow, and then it got all warmer again. The weirdo who actually likes the cold and snow helps the infrastructure here is built to withstand it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't hate snow, and I don't hate the cold. I just like... I actually dislike... I think I like winter better than I like summer, just from the simple fact that, like you can always put more clothes on if you're cold, but, like, during the summer there comes a point where you have to stop taking clothes off. You know?
Take your skin off. Easy.
Clearly. Yeah, I've been got. Huh? I just, like, want to, like... I need the servants to come back. It's like... A demon-possessing cannon's body came to the door and said you were a murderer, Rosa. What the fuck is going on? Maid's outfit is very silly with how it practically outlines her boobs despite being a maid outfit. Yeah, it's pretty silly. A lot of the character designs are, like, really interesting. I actually like most of them, even though they're very, like, absurd fashion-wise. Like, this tie that goes over the cape thing right here is, like, fucking crazy. Like, several of these are just, like, normal business suits. Unfortunately, you can't see all the design choices here just because, like, you know, they're covered in blood.
I don't know why they wear blood. It's a weird fashion choice.
Yeah, you know, listen. But yeah, for the most part, the men are wearing mostly normal business suits. The women's fashion gets a little crazy. This is, like, I think this is, like, the wildest men's outfit. Just because, like, it's got the zipper on the thing. But everyone else is pretty normal. Some of the dresses for the women are pretty normal. The servants' outfits are, like, a little whatever. Shannon's is clearly the most wild of the servants' outfits. And then you got Cannon here. Oh, there is no corpse, but he is dead. The witch declared it in red, so without a corpse, his death is incontrovertible.
Wow.
Huh, I didn't realize that. Huh?
Neither.
It was only natural. Everyone believed he was Cannon, so they couldn't understand the meaning of Shannon's question. When they looked, they noticed that Shannon was holding a handkerchief in her hand. It was filthy and looked like she had wiped up some trash or dust. And while holding that, she approached Cannon and drew close to his leg. What is that? It's a handkerchief with a spiderweb swiped onto it. Why something like that? If you're Cannon-kun, you should be alright. But if spiders are your natural enemy, I thought you might hate it. Beatrice, you're getting fucked! Beatrice, you're really getting blown the fuck out here. This is a really bad look. You gotta kill everyone in this room and then never pretend that was your plan the whole time. Shannon definitely has the most horny anime design outfit with that hole in the dress and perfectly form-fitting maid undershirt. Yeah, a little bit. Kyrie's is also, like, a little wild, but I feel like that's, like, more goofy, anime goofy, than, like, anime horny, if that makes any sense. Unfortunately, she's covered in blood, so you can't really see it, but... Oh, no! Why would I hate spiders? Sorry, I'll try it. Shannon. Oh, are we going to do more goofy anime sword fights? Is that what's happening here?
It will only increase the number.
You and I couldn't have followed it. Cannon jumped back like a wild goat, fleeing the thing that Shannon was holding, and his arm drew trails with some kind of afterglow that flashed purple. There were 3 beautiful purple trails drawn in an arc, and they were traced to the throats of Nancho and Kumasawa, who had been tending to him. And Nancho and Kumasawa's throats had opened like gaping mouths, and it was the very instant before the blood was about to start spewing out. The 3rd purple trail should have traced across Shannon's throat, but Shannon wasn't there, because Genji, who had been behind her, had wrapped his own arm around Shannon's neck and pulled her back. This all happened in an instant.
Holy crap.
I tried to think fast in an attempt to understand. I even, like, go to be like, wait, you guys can do what? What the fuck? Oh. I didn't actually read that whole line. In the instant Go tried to think fast in an attempt to understand the scene, the frozen moment in time shattered. Blood spewed forcefully from Nanjo and Kumasawa's necks, which had been torn open. So mid-jump, Cannon Wall kicked off a picture frame that had been hanging from the wall behind him, springing forward just like a cat, aiming for Shannon's throat again. But Cannon's target once again disappeared from in front of him. because Genji had pulled Shannon again, and two of them had fallen onto the ground, heaving flat to the floor. Why is he afraid of spiders? Because he's Beatrice. Or like a demon. Or like a demon summoned by Beatrice, one of the two. Yeah, it's worth occasionally waking up to my cat's attacking my feet when he sleeps under my sheets. Aw, Temple hasn't seen the Demon Girls yet. No, no, he hasn't actually. Nice reflexes, you senile old piece of furniture. Goda. What are you going to do?
Goda to do this situation?
Goda wasn't an idiot either. Even if he couldn't fully understand what was going on, he at least realized that this cannon wasn't seized. His own life would also be in peril. He sprung at Cannon with his huge body, pushing him up against the wall with his weight and physical strength. He is going to take a sword through the fucking chest. Let me go, you fat ass! I love you, Beatrice. This is like the most physically confronted Beatrice has ever been, and she immediately starts going to like, fucking fat ass, get off of here! The tips and the fingers of Cannon's right hand begin to trace out another purple trail. When he raised that blade hand up, aiming to strike at Goda's back, there was a loud thump, because Cannon's raised blade hand had been pinned to the wall. He couldn't tear his palm away from the wall. Sticking out from it was the knife that Genji had thrown. Under normal circumstances, it should have been surprising to see someone as old as Genji handle a knife so skillfully. But in this abnormal space, no one paid it much mind. Genji-sama, here! Yes. Genji took the handkerchief with the spiderweb stuck to it from Shannon. As he approached Cannon, who was pinned to the wall by Goda's massive body and the knife. Stop it! Don't come near me with that! Stop it! Stop! Of course, he's got ninja knives. Genji is a trope ninja name. Makes sense. When Genji pushed the handkerchief up against Cannon's face, there was a sound just like the one you hear when you set a meat on a red-hot iron plate. Of course, the smell was the same, too. As he was burned and inflamed, festering in filthy bread and black, cried out his death throes, Cannon's body burst open and scattered. Yep. It was almost as though a balloon filled with gold leaf had popped. The entire servants' room was completely buried under a storm of gold leaf. No, a rabble of gold butterflies. Well, I guess she got enough for the the twilight, so... Those butterflies began to softly fade into nothingness, as though dissolving into water. No, into the air itself. And afterwards, all that was left of the three of them was sitting on their behinds, stained with blood. However, not everyone was just stained with blood. Some of them were lying on the ground, vomiting blood themselves. This is really unfortunate, because they're going to try to explain what's happening, and Rosa is going to shoot all of them. I don't know. I love how all of this is happening, and there's also a debate in the game as if magic is real or not. Listen, there's
awesome. I fucking love you, Umineko.
This is like, there's some shit going on in this. Some of them were lying on the ground, vomiting blood themselves. Dr. Nanjo. A slit so sharp it looked like it could cut your fingers if you touched it was wide, open wide, causing a large amount of blood to keep pouring out. What was that? Just now. Goda, have you been injured? I'm alright. But what did we just see? What happened? Even though I definitely pushed that thing against the wall with this very hand. I cannot understand what happened. Goda looked at his own hand. The bright red blood from the scuffle of Cannon definitely remained, yet Cannon was nowhere to be seen. I hope Battler somehow wins the argument. Because he had disappeared, he had turned into gold butterflies and scattered. Goda kept screaming alone that he had no clue what was going on. Shannon sobbed in front of Nancho Kumasawa's remains, and Genji watched over her, silent as always.
Bro, you guys are so fucked.
Yeah. Is this a good stopping point?
What time is it?
It's like 10:30.
Oh,
like I said, I know you're I just want you to know that Eddie
I'm
requesting.
I'm comfy in bed.
Okay, so you're good to keep going then?
I'm till 11.
Okay.
For real.
I want you guys all to know, though, before we started, Eddie was like, okay, so, like, whenever we say we're going to stop early, we always end up going to, like, 11:30 or 12 or some shit. We need to not do that this time and, like genuinely stop in, like a spot like that. Like, stop at, like, early or whatever.
Sorry.
And now here we are. And I just want to say that it's not my fault this time. That's all. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and grab a quick drink. I will be right back.
Fellas, is magic real? I don't know if I believe all that. That feels like a bunch of BS.
I just love how, like, whenever the magic happens in Umineko, it just, like, it feels fake. Like, I was like, we got transported to the anime dimension for, like, 2 seconds, and then, like, now we're back. Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san. What in the world is going on? Shannon! Thank goodness you're safe. If something had happened to you, Also, don't mind me. I've got a bit of, like, strawberry cheesecake fudge here. Hampy, this is computers or some shit. Really, if you have, like, nanotechnology, it all explains itself, really. George-sama. George, shut the fuck up! I murdered her code before your very eyes, right? Did you see the culprit? Or not? They're gonna say a fake cannon showed up with a gaping chest wound, and then, like, he ended up, like, slashing all of them to ribbons, and like, Rosa is going to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Genji-san. Even we cannot explain what we saw very well. It certainly happened right before our eyes. Right in front of my eyes. But still, what was that? Even I don't understand. What the fuck are you saying? It's impossible for you to have met anyone other than the witch Beatrice, whose location has been unknown since last night. Or Kanon-kun, who has gone missing. Was it a man or a woman? You should be able to tell me at least that much, right? Auntie Rosa, calm down a little bit. Anyone would be confused if two people were taken out right in front of them. Genji-san, there's no need to rush. Tell us what happened, one thing at a time. About that, how should I say it? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san had been killed. We understood that much. And it seems like it had occurred in front of their eyes. But even so, they spoke awkwardly. They admitted that they had definitely seen the crime with their own 2 eyes, but when asked to explain what they had seen, their mouths wouldn't suddenly shut. I can understand why Auntie Rosa was irritated and losing her patience. Shannon. Did you see it? Dr. Nanjo was attacked. Yes. Just what you understand. What in the world happened? The back door. In through there. That's right. Someone came up to the back door. Then, wondering who it was, I opened the door. Someone at the back door. Who was it? Let them finish! And after that? The person was stained with blood and had a large wound. They carried them to the servant room, and Dr. Nanjo immediately began first aid. It was a very deep wound. But last time, who are you talking about? I don't know! Certainly in the beginning I thought I knew. Oh, I still think it was. But what in the world was that? I don't know, I don't know! And it mattered to Master's large body. Goda held his head and scratched at it. I didn't have a clue whether he was confused or because he couldn't remember, or whether he was confused because he had seen something terrifying and couldn't accept it. And Shannon looked the same way. If she let her guard down, which she had seen just a short while ago, would quickly melt away like a daydream. She wouldn't even be able to remember what she saw. That's what she looked like. Only Genji looked composed as usual. The questions were naturally directed at Genji. Even Genji had taken quite some time to gather his thoughts before he opened his mouth. You saw it, right? Who was the person that came in through the back door? At first, we believed that person was Canon. You see? He was alive after all! My reasoning was correct! Like, it really feels like she's like, that's what she's like most like wanting to get out of this. It's like, I was right! Fuck you, Battler! By at first, you mean your impression changed later, right? Yes. I cannot explain with words what happened after that. They killed Dr. Nancho and Kumasawa, then disappeared. At that time, it was definitely not canon. Yes, that's right. It's just as Genji-san said. You really couldn't explain it with words. You have the same opinion. Yes. You can only say the same thing as well. I interpreted what they were saying favorably. It meant that Auntie Rose's conclusion had been correct from the beginning. Katakun had appeared from around the back door in the kitchen with a serious injury, and he had been taken to the servant room and cared for. And something terrifying had happened. Since these people couldn't imagine that Kanon-kun could have pulled that off, they started to suspect whether that was really Kanon-kun. That's how things are? In other words, that meant that Kanon-kun had appeared, no matter how confused they were, no matter how they muddled their words, what's what it meant at the end. Can they please be can they please just be like, yeah, he had like a magic hand sword and tried to kill all of us after standing up and sticking his hand into his gaping chest wound, and then turned into like a bunch of butterflies whenever like a spider web got pressed against his face. Like, that's crazy, but at least it's words that they could interpret. Instant shot by Rose that they said that's fair. So Kanon could indeed use some trick to escape that room while it was locked? No, that doesn't matter anymore. The real problem is that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were killed. Auntie Rose had claimed that Kanon-kun was behind this from the very beginning. No matter how confused they were, no matter how much they tried to deny it, they were halfway saying that it was the truth. But even so, for some reason, I felt like their awkwardness couldn't be explained just by confusion. What had they seen? Like I said, they had really seen something unexplainable with words. I half expected Beatrice to and Battler to show up and be sure to be like, well, what the fuck do you have to say about that, huh? Huh? Motherfucker? Was that magic or was that not? Auntie Rosa, having decided she wouldn't be able to get anything more out of them, concluded their questioning, and said that she wanted to check the two bodies. I was also interested in that. Even if these people didn't have a clue what was going on in their confusion, those of us who hadn't been at the scene calmly looked at their bodies, we might find something. Oh, they're going to see that their throats were cut really cleanly and be like, okay, knives. It was a little surprising that Auntie Rosa was also concerned about bodies, just like I was. Even at this point, I still wanted to expose the culprit and the truth myself, even if we could find any clues. But Auntie Rosa should have been different. Hadn't Auntie Rosa's plan given a higher priority to staying safe than finding the culprit? Couldn't really see why Auntie Rosa wanted to check the body so badly that she would deliberately leave our fort in the parlor. We will all go to the servants' room together. We all move together, it'll be safe. Maria, stop that scribbling now. Not scribbling! Solving Beatrice's problem! Beatrice's problem? What's that? Tell me too. Auntie Rosa, are you bringing Maria-chan too? Assume that George Haneke had some resistance to bringing Maria to the bloody crime scene. But taking into consideration the fact that Maria would be left alone here, it would surely be much safer if we took Maria with us. In the end, it was just Haneke's irresponsible humanism. We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servants' room. The bed in the servants' room was stained with bright red blood. No, not just blood. The whole room was covered with gruesome paint from countless bloodstains. That dreadful scene alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight that they had been trying to describe. Oh. I want to look too! You wait here with me, Maria-chan, okay? George Haneke was standing by the entrance, covering Maria's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty innocent girl's retinas with the repulsive red in this room. I mean, didn't she see the Halloween shit?
Did she?
I could have sworn that she had.
I think, didn't she see Jessica? Or no?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. That was surely the correct decision. I was acting tough right now, so I didn't mind. I would probably remember this room in search of vomit whenever I saw red paint scattered around for the rest of my life. My retinas had already had this room burned into them. In other words, it was too late for me. She saw Halloween, I think. Okay. But where did they... Right after they entered the servant room, Goda-san and Shanin-chan appeared flustered. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen flustered for the second time. What happened? What is it? Auntie Rosa also shuddered, raised her gun high, and searched for whatever it was that had them shaken. She couldn't find it, which wasn't surprising. They were shaken because they couldn't find it. What in the world's going on? Two bodies aren't here. Oh, this makes them look really awful. But why? But also, like, why the fuck would they come here and show them if that was the case? What do you mean? It can't be. The two were definitely here. Wait. What the hell? Are you saying the corpses just walked off somewhere? How could that happen? I mean, wasn't the servant room locked? Didn't you unlock the door when you came in just now, Goda-san? Can you believe it? A third locked room mystery! Ladies and gentlemen!
He loves it.
Oh my god. So then what? Isn't this the same as Jessica's room? They disappeared from a locked room again? That's ridiculous! I don't have a clue what happened either. When we left this room, we definitely locked it. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. Poor Goda. There was a timid and pitiful smile on Goda-san's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shadow was the same. Both their corpses disappeared, and furthermore, they disappeared when the room was locked. Even if the culprit was Kanon, he shouldn't be holding a master's key anymore. That's wrong. Kanon-kun is not the culprit. Shannon. I believe Shannon. Kanon-kun is not the culprit. George, you're right for the wrong reasons. Congratulations. This must be the doing of someone who looks a lot like him. No. Kanon-kun could have gotten the master key. After all, his master key was found in the pocket of Jessica's body. And who took that key? That's right. It was Dr. Nanjo. That's right. Back then, it was definitely Dr. Nanjo who had searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. Auntie Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. By now, I understood what that meant. If you assumed that there had been two culprits, it could be easily explained. First person was Kanon-kun, or maybe an imposter who looked like him. He had finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. Second person was probably the ninth-viewed person, Beatrice, whose location was unknown. She hid under the bed in the servant room beforehand, with Dr. Nanjo's body still enshrined there. She had waited for Genji-san and the rest to leave. After that, she crawled out, taken the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, and carried the two bodies away for some reason. She had then locked the door with the master key, and this locked room would be created. Hey, Beatrice, what's up? You constructed that one pretty fast with your reasoning from Jessica's room as a premise. But that meant that you could indeed create a locked room even without magic. Should I give you passing marks? However, as truly fascinating as it was, there's something you must not forget. The culprit had taken the master key back by the method you say. That culprit would have to have known that Nanjo had taken the master key from Jessica's body. Ah, fuck. He's trapped by his unwillingness to not just doubt anyone around him. Fuck. So oh no, I've been trapped by a social convention. You don't have to tell me that. They're probably trying to say that it's information only people in that place at that time could know. The third locked room was crushed so fast that you can't do anything but gripe. It's no art repeating the same content. Even though it's acting tough, the move of that witch is hurt real bad. The move of that witch is hurt bad. I could feel cracks forming in the thing I wanted most to deny. She's trying to close in on me from two directions. On one hand, there's the frontal attack, where she tries to force me to believe in witches using locked room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's the rear attack, where she tries to lure me into thinking it would be better if there was a witch, by strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. The first locked room, the chapel, she had used the frontal attack, but it hadn't worked on me. This was undoubtedly why, with the second locked room, and now the third, she was starting to change the direction of her attack. However, the fact that she was changing the direction of her attack also proved that my resistance was working a little. and she's surely given up on the frontal attack, because she couldn't just win directly with it. I tried to force myself to accept my own position by thinking that. But it seems that the witch had seen through those thoughts of mine long ago. The frontal attack is indispensable. The rear attack only has meaning because it advances at the same time as the frontal attack. If I were to degenerate and only using the rear attack, it would be nothing more than a foolish plan occurring when my means became my goal. Really? Well, then won't you repeat, no one was hiding in the servant room in red that you're so proud of. There is no need. The premise of your reasoning is about to be destroyed. Oh! You decline? So someone really is hiding. Rosa will destroy your premise right now. Well, try listening in. Please believe us, Rosa-sama. The two bodies were certainly right here. The bright red blood on the floor is theirs. Auntie Rosa began to search through various objects around the room. Her back to Goto-san, she cried out in supplication. Eventually, she found something and for a while stopped moving. We definitely aren't lying. The two bodies were definitely here. Quiet down. The person who hid the corpses has confessed they took them to another place. Ah, fuck, a note. Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder. God damn it. Ah, this fucking witch. Ah, god damn it.
Here we go again.
What on earth is that? It couldn't be a letter in a sealed envelope for the press, just like in the chapel. Yes, that's right. It was set out here, out in the open. I'll read it. People of the Ushiromiya family. I wonder if your attempts at solving the epitaph's riddle throughout the gold are reaching a climax. They have not started. Every single time they're like, she's like, please try to solve the riddle. And then what does no one do? No one tries to solve that goddamn riddle. Solving the riddle of the epitaph, a single method by which you can all stop me. You will not be able to stop me or the ritual by way of any other method of any kind. I ask all of you that you take care not to mistake your goal. I just love that she's trying so desperately. She's like, you guys are not like you're not taking this shit seriously. You don't seem to understand. I am going to tell you as directly as humanly possible. You need to solve that goddamn riddle if you want me to stop murdering your asses. Nothing else will fix that. Attempting to search for me is useless. Attempting to escape from me is useless. Attempting to deny me is also useless. This is to one specific character. Beatrice the Golden. Yes, I borrowed the two bodies for the ritual. I will return them later, so please accept my apologies. Furthermore, since the keys belong to all of you, I shall return them. As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed in the palm of her hand. There were two master keys. The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been Buchanan, and Kumasawa's master key. Well, that's 3 keys in the pocket. Fuck! What the hell? So what does that mean? Damn you again? You're saying I can only suspect the servants holding keys again. I haven't said it in red, you know. I hadn't denied the possibility at the time they locked the door and left. Someone was hiding in the room.
I love this
They was
face.
hiding under the bed. It would have been impossible for them to carry the corpses away somewhere. And then they couldn't lock the door. The master keys that went all that trouble to get their hands on were set down right here. That's right, I had forgotten. What about the keys specifically for this room? The servant room keys. Ah, fuck. Those are the key box in the center of the servant's room. There are several servant room keys, but all of those are inside the key box. Which means the situation isn't any different from that time with the key to Jessica's room. It's not like the servants would walk around with the necessary key when they have the convenient master keys. It's said that they were all still shut away inside the key box. Nothing has changed with the other conditions. Entry and exit are impossible except for the single door and the single window. Therefore, hidden doors and irregular methods of entry cannot exist. Rejoice, great detectives! And those are both locked. The door and the window do not permit entry of any entry or exit. Do not permit any kind of entry or exit when they are locked. So when we work to remove the door, make it fast sliding through, anything like that, with the lock is maintained. And obviously, it is impossible to unlock the door without the servant room key or a master key. It's a pain having to read all of those aloud every time. Sooner or later, I should think of some word to abbreviate all of this into a single phrase. But you can't repeat that with no one hiding. But you can't repeat that no one was hiding in this room. But that alone won't break open the door of a locked room. Damn it, damn it! It's no good, no goddamn good at all! What happened to that flipping over the chessboard thing that you're so proud of? Please, announce your most strange theory. Flip over the chessboard. What would I do if I were the culprit? I carry off the corpse somewhere. I leave a letter. I lock the door from the inside. And I just have to escape this room by some means. Damn, is that even possible? I was told in red you can't get outside except by the window or the door. Oh! At that moment, I got it. That's right. Carry the corpses, leave the letter, and rely on a hidden door. In other words, not even able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question, it's an answer. Beato, before my repetition request, I want to check the definition of these hidden doors that you're talking about. What have you thought of? Very well, I'll explain. A hidden door refers to an entrance or exit that cannot be recognized by those who do not know of it. You and children know that. So in other words, you can't get outside. If you can't get outside the room with it, it isn't a hidden door. They put the letter into there through like the vents or some shit. That angle. I kept thinking that the culprit would escape the locked room. That's wrong. Even the culprit couldn't escape the locked room. So the culprit decided to hide until we passed by. I'd used this theory from the second locked room and reasoned with Canon-kun might have done this. But I'd given up that reasoning when I was told Canon-kun was killed in red. And next, I had reasoned that ooh, I like this track. I had reasoned that there had been a third person in the room. It would have been possible for them to escape through a hidden door. And that was when, for the first time, the claim that it made read that no hidden doors exist. And what I had learned just now, those hidden doors the witch was talking about referred to things that made it possible to get into or out of the room. In other words, things that didn't permit entry or exit to the outside, and also wouldn't be noticed by those, by people who didn't know about them, wouldn't fall under the definition of hidden door. In other words, if there were, for example, something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, they wouldn't be defined as hidden doors. In other words, the third person in Jessica's room was hiding there, waiting for us to pass by. How pathetic, just a little playing around with words. With this method, it looks like even I can manage the third locked room, the servant's room. If there's a hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, that would be enough. The culprit's hiding somewhere, waiting for us to leave. The culprit is also trapped in the locked room even now. Which means at this very moment, the culprit is still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. Which means... what the hell? Even though we've been tortured with locked rooms 3 times, in this very moment we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate. I finally started to see it. Take this, Beto. Repetition requested. There's no one in the room other than us. By us, I mean me, Georgianiki, Maria, Auntie Rosa, Genji-san, Goda-san, and Shannon-chan, alright? Well, you can't say it, can you? Ooh. Oh, I bet I hit you where it hurts. You decline and say you decline, damn it. Here comes the next one. Repetition requested. I don't know how they're hiding in this room. But if that's a fact, that also resolves the second locked room, Jessica's room, at the same time. I finally caught her by the tail. With this, I can explain everything. Witches don't exist. I don't have to doubt anyone. Alright, starting now, I'll flip it over. The next thing I'll request is she repeat, no one exists in this room except your group. Your group refers to Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, and Shannon. Oh, he got blown out so fucking hard. Oh, he was so ready. What? Ah, man! Let's go back to Jessica's room. At the time of Jessica's corpse discovery, only Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, Shannon, Kumasawa, and Nanjo were in Jessica's room. Well, the corpse of Jessica is also included, of course. Therefore, in both the case of Jessica's room and the case of the servant's room, no human exists that you were not aware of. No one is hiding. And I'll say more. No method exists by which the doors can be locked from the outside without using a key. Regarding the windows, no method exists by which they could also somehow be locked from the outside. And while I'm at it, you are... Oh no! Oh, she got him in red! Oh, god damn! Even she's like, wow, I can't believe that came out in red. Holy shit. That's so fucking wild. Damn. She didn't need to be doing that. She didn't need to be doing that shit. Oh! What does her laughing red mean? What the fuck does that even mean? Son of a bitch! Then it really is a locked room, isn't it? Oh, he really thought he did something there. It was so hard to think of, too! If you had been hiding, that explanation would fit everything. That's when I thought I had broken the trick. Damn it! I just want her to say in red, hey, it was magic, I'm a witch. And then just like, well, fuck, I guess.
There's no fun in that.
Yeah.
He's crying because he was called stupid.
Yeah! She called him stupid and now he's crying. It's no good, no goddamn good! For a second I thought I had it. It was no goddamn good at all. Beatrice, you bitch! I thought you were all smoke and mirrors playing board games that made clever use of red. I was certain you just cleverly deceived me. Just when I thought I had seen a light in the darkness, it disappeared. Just disappeared, swallowed up by a blood-red sea. Red. No one is hiding, and there's no hidden door and no way to trick the doors to the windows while they're locked. Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been pulled off with a frontal attack? Impossible. This is impossible. What's wrong, Ushiromiya Batala? Weren't you so confident that you can deny witches? Why are you groveling and wringing out bitter tears in a place like that? Ah, yes, that's a really wonderful method. Truly wonderful how you're trying to make me fall over laughing and drown in a sea of the tears of my own laughter. Is that what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make me laugh and laugh and laugh myself to death, right? Oh, this game... Umineko's so fucking good, man. Oh, this game is so good. She's so fucking silly. She's so fucking silly. Magic, screw that. I'll definitely deny witches exist. Oh, man. No. Oh, that made my headache worse. God damn it. I'll never believe in you. You used the power of magic and bullied and killed everyone for fun? I'm never gonna accept that! Hey, Battler. Sorry for bullying you too much. I'll flip over the chessboard from my side. I'll teach your side the best move in your place. Wanna hear? Screw you, I don't want to hear! I don't want to hear! Shut the fuck up! The case of Jessica's room. You really struck on a good spot, you know? Trying to hide and wait for you to pass by. That truly was a good observation. But why did you think that it could only be Ken underneath the 19th person? I see, the hide part of hide and wait for you to pass must have gotten in the way. He didn't think that far. Look, now do you understand? It's a Jessica. Jessica! With Jessica were the culprit, a farce like this could easily be constructed. She killed Kaneko and carried him off somewhere. Then she played dead and let us walk by. But that's ridiculous. Dr. Nanjo definitely checked that she was dead. So is Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too? That's wrong. I also made sure that Jessica was really dead. Sure, I'd never performed an examination of a corpse before, but she was definitely dead. I think she was dead. No, she probably, surely, definitely, at least I think so, but she has to be, no, she was dead. She was dead. Jessica was also an accomplice. And Nanjo, who examined her corpse, was also an accomplice. And the third locker room was a farce. Yeah, then it's simple. Dr. Nanjo was an accomplice, so in other words, he was on the culprit side too. So in other words, he was never killed in the first place. We thought he had been killed and the body disappeared, but he wasn't in the servant room in the first place? Then is Kumasawa Bachan, who disappeared with him, also an accomplice? That's not all. That's not all. The servants who are going through the story, Genji-san and Goda-san and even Shannon-chan are accomplices. Then the one who stole the key from Maria's handbag was Jessica? No, it's also possible it was George on a key. Oh, he's spiraling really fucking hard. After all, if Shannon-chan was on the culprit side, then George Aniki would automatically be on the culprit side as well. Wait just a second, they're all wolves! They're all wolves! Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, but there are packs of wolves clamoring on the banks whose blazing eyes tell me that if I call out, they'll eat me. Which way should I die? Will I have everything to die? Drown in a bright lead sea? Will I know the truth and have my whole body chewed to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or the other. I can't choose. I'm not doing that. Whee! That is why I'm here. Come on, Ushiro Battler. Kneel. Once again, I don't know if you can say that's, like, the truth. Then swear your eternal loyalty and lick my shoes. Whoa! If you accept me, all the other riddles will be resolved. With my power, any kind of locked room can be created and destroyed. Why don't you want to abandon yourself to the joy of surrendering to one with power? Well, wait a second. Here we go. 3 Beatrices. If my theory is correct, then there are 3 of her. Technically, kind of. I'll make you my favorite piece of furniture. I'll love you so much and make you my toy until you turn to ash. Wow, she confessed. That's a confession. Her voice actress is just so good. I know I said it every time, but like it's crazy how good she is. Oh, she's swapping expressions. Well, the first one turned normal. And the middle one turned fucking crazy. Now it's clear. There's no longer any reason to doubt. What do you mean by that? The 2 of you kept saying that the 2 that you kept saying were dead weren't here. Now we have the letter from Beatrice, where she was kind enough to confess that she carried the corpses off. That's what it is. Well, you know, she's been wanting to do this forever, so this makes sense. Had enough of this farce. As Auntie Rosa yelled, she looked over at everyone with a harsh expression. Oh, you, Rosa. Listen, the girl wants to shoot some guns.
So silly.
Farce? What do you mean? I said it in Jessica Chan's room. You can't trust anyone but yourself and those whose corpses have been found. And since we cannot find the corpses, there's no reason that we should accept that those 2 were killed. Please wait, Auntie Rosa. What do you mean by that? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san aren't dead, they're alive. They made it seem like they were killed and are hiding somewhere in this mansion. It's really interesting to me that, like, what Beatrice is trying to do to Battler is, that's the path that Rosa's going down, right? Like, she's seeing wolves everywhere. There is nothing in this house but wolves. And, like, that's what Beatrice is trying to do. So it's like, this is kind of like, if you are just led down by Beatrice's, like, intention, this is what ends up happening to you. And I think that, like, I don't know, that's kind of interesting. I don't know if I have more to say on that, like, anything deeper to say about it, but I think it's interesting. So that they can attack us What's up, babe?
I think that last part was good enough.
Oh, okay. You want me to save it here?
Yeah, after Beatrice.
Okay, that's good. Alright, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for coming on by. I'm once again having a great time. Every single time it's a locked room, and it's like, bitch, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And it's just like, there's a couple times that, like, it feels like things kind of slipped out of Beatrice's hands, like, once or twice, like that bit where she was canon. And, like, Shannon was just absolutely like, I'm not having this. Here's some spiderwebs, bitch. And, like, that first bit in the chapel with Battler, those were the only times where I felt like she doesn't have control. And that's, like, pretty fun. Everything else is like, yeah, no, this is firmly in her hands. Anyways, let's see. Is there anyone that we can raid tonight? Nope, no one is live. Alright, we're going to go ahead and call it here then. Thank you guys for coming by, and we'll see you later. Remember, we have Hardcore Minecraft going on tomorrow for a collab, so if you want, make sure to stop on by for that. Anyways, good night, sleep tight.